everybody. I thought I'd do something a little bit different if you're a patron if you're a patron and coming here. Since I am wearing the same outfit, I thought I'd do something that looks a little bit different. Okay, here it is. Well, did you all have a happy Halloween? Welcome, YouTube. Did y'all have a happy Halloween? I hope so. It was different. It was unusual. It was strange. But it was also cool. First of all, here in California, the weather was unbelievably awesome. We sat outside the whole time. And I will be showing you some cool things that we did because I'm so proud of my husband and what he set up for Halloween. And guess what, guys? We did have trick-or-treaters. We had 12. Honestly, that was 12 more than I expected. So, yay! It was fabulous. It was so much fun. I couldn't get over how much fun I was having with the fact, just trying to fix my shirt here because it looks weird. This way. Yeah, there we go. With the fact that I got so excited about Halloween. When my husband started to do the build, I was like, oh my gosh, I am really excited about this. So let's jump over your comments first, and then we're going to get going. And we're going to talk about Halloween. Share with me what you did on Halloween and how you felt. Welcome. We just could have seen your class. College work took up my time, nevertheless, I'm sure. Well, I will tell you something. I recorded one of my classes, and I will be showing highlights here and there. So on the YouTube channel, so just subscribe and ring the bell, and it will be coming. When? I'm not sure. But right out of the gate, everyone, and Satoshi, sorry, forgive me, helps me to bring up the point that I'm going to be away for a little while. I won't be here for an Ask Me Anything on Friday, nor will I be here. I will be here next Monday because my husband is whisking me away for a little R&R. I have really been pushing it the past few months with my hitchhiking ghosts and my pumpkin classes and a few other things. And my husband and my doctor both say I need to get a little bit of rest. I'm pushing too hard. So I said, okay, I would love to get some rest. And so my husband is taking me away to just stare at the ocean for a few days, and I'll be back in time for a Monday broadcast, okay? So maybe I'll post. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to sit with a glass of wine and stare at the ocean like forever. So that's kind of what I want to do. And if you're someone who will keep looking at your comments, good morning. Michael, I did it. I started my new job, and now I'm doing food prep, and I only started a week ago. Well, good for you. Congratulations. Yay. I do food prep for dinner, but I didn't get part. Hey, theme park gals, I saw your costumes. They were adorable. In fact, I've been peeking in on you several times. You guys just cracked me up. You two are funny. You two are very funny. Miss Greta, I spent the day painting. And you know what, Greta? You always spent the day painting. You are one of those go-getter gals who paints and paints. And you're a lot like the people in my tribe who they are creating all the time, something, somehow, somewhere, at some point, for sure. Michael, musical event, Night Before Christmas, Broadway Stars. Oh, yes, that's right. You did go and see that. That is super, super cool. Well, so let me show you my Halloween and what my husband created. Now, my husband said, I'm going to do this contraption to give to trick-or-treaters, right? And I need a head on it. So Terri, will you sculpt a head on top of to put on my character that I'm designing? And I'm like, okay. What is and he said, I want it to have spiky teeth, so it's a little bit scary, but it's whimsical scary. It's kind of happy scary. A little bit of a challenge, but I was up for the task. And so I started that on Friday morning, I think right after the broadcast. I jumped right in and started carving that pumpkin. So I'm going to show him to you. I have to see where I am here. Okay, so here is my husband's contraption. So what you're seeing there is we have a fence all around our yard, and my husband has created out of a vinyl rain gutter a chute, if you will. It's not a tube because we give out microwave popcorn in the packages. So, you know, you open it up, you open up your Orville Redenbacher and it's in the cellophane and all safe. That's what we did. He wore gloves. He threw it down the chute. The little kids, it dropped right in the bag. It was adorable. It was a great game. It was so much fun. And if we let you come in tighter, there's the head that I did for my husband. So it has the sharp, gnarly teeth, and it has eyes poking out and a big nose, and people just went crazy for him. And it was super cool. And then alongside him was several pumpkins that I did. So you'll see this one here, the Screamer. I added an arm onto him. And then this is my little dog, which is a brand new technique I did, where you just scrape the surface of the pumpkin. But it's a very interesting technique. I found it very enlightening, and I will show you why in a minute, but very enlightening character. And then I'm coming around here, and you can see that there's a Jack Skellington. Now, how did these happen? I taught classes on Friday and Saturday, and when I taught those classes, what I found out is if I dedicate a pumpkin to what each student wanted to do, they could create their creation. So some of the students did Jack, some students did Frankenstein. I dedicated a pumpkin to Frankenstein, although I didn't finish. And they were able to see how to do the various steps and become successful. And it was a great class, and it taught me that I can teach virtually. So it was really exciting. It was a really exciting time. So the Screamer that you saw here, and then not the hand, just the Screamer head, and then the Jack, and then there's Frankenstein's, which I will cut back to here and show you. He never finished, but what I did was I would demonstrate on this pumpkin right here what to do. So if you wanted to do lips, this is how I showed you how to do lips. If you wanted to create a nose, if you wanted to create a brow, if you wanted to create an eye. Okay, and that was a weird sculpting. And we did two. The reason being that the first one that we did was on Friday, and then the second one was on Saturday. And I decided not to finish it, but it was enough to help my students figure out what they needed to do to create what they envisioned. Okay, and I will show you that in a minute. The other thing that I'm just looking through and seeing if there's something else cool I can show you. So I will show you this. So this is just a walkthrough of, you can see in the top part there that we're playing Nightmare Before Christmas movie. That's what's happening on the bottom. But it's me just walking around and showing them. And then this last pumpkin is the etching technique I told you, where I'm scraping, I'm carving into just the surface of a thinner pumpkin. And you may have seen these on Instagram and maybe YouTube, people did them. But, and there's the panda without his leg, because I'm in process here. But there he is with his leg and his mountain. And then there's Tigress. So I always like to do an animated, fun, happy one, because, you know, kids come by and they want to see something cool. But this technique is very, very interesting. And the reason it's so interesting is because it's so different. It's just so different. So here you take a real good look at how this looks, and I'm going to go back and let them do you walk through again. Take a look at, you know, just how cool it looks. And then we're going to cut back to one, and look how it looks here. It looks kind of, what's the word? Kind of rough. And it's not, because what you're doing is you're taking a sharp tool and you're figuring out what's going to be the orange of the tiger, what's going to be the black of the tiger. It's kind of like a reverse thinking. And I wondered why people didn't show this, because I wasn't sure exactly how they did it. I mean, I've seen some exquisite designs on Instagram, time lapse or whatever. And I kept saying, why is it always in the dark with the light? Because you need the light to know the depths that you want to do to create the different colors. And if we go back to this one again and you look at it, you can see that Tigress looks like she's a different color from the panda. Let's look at it one more time. Panda nice and bright, come around, and boom, there's Tigress. Now, is it perfect? I don't know, but I thought you should see this technique because it's so strange that it look, you know, you go, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, you know, but then you know, I mean, even with this little dog, here's my rocket. I mean, this was my first attempt at that technique. And I was like, ooh, you know, full disclosure. Ooh. But then you go and you look at it lit and you say to yourself, what? And that's what I did. Look at it lit. It's like unbelievable. Okay, so that one, this one, okay, that one, this one, that one, this one. I'm going to do that as a TikTok. I haven't done TikTok yet. So I'm thinking of doing these two pumpkins in a quick TikTok just to demonstrate the thing. Because I don't mind showing the rough and then how pretty it looks lit. I don't mind. I think that's really helpful to you as someone who wants to figure out different ways to create a pumpkin, right? So why not show you what it looks like without the light inside? Now, understand that when you are doing that technique, you do have a light inside. You are in the dark and you carve to the light. So that way you can see the different depths. And one of these people, shout out to @MarkManiac, he does some great stuff. You've seen him. He's a muralist, but he's also a killer pumpkin sculptor. And he probably starts as soon as the pumpkins are ripe and carves all throughout, a lot like Ray Villafane. And he does both the dimensional, like I showed you, and and this technique. But this technique, he really knocks it out of the park. And a lot of times he's hired to do it because he can do personalities and stuff. And by the way he does the personalities, I mean, like he'll do Freddy Krueger, or he'll do he did the Avenger characters. I thought that was really a beautiful pumpkin. My favorite one is he did a mural that I think his daughter was the center of, and she's wearing a fox on her head, and it's just gorgeous. It's just, I like when he does his original stuff. I know the portraits pay the bills, and he does beautiful portraits of, I mean, I don't think there's a portrait out there he cannot do. Okay. But just beautiful. So if you can see Mark Maniac, you'll see what I mean. But he does this technique. And I wonder why he never showed them in the light. He does a little bit, but not a lot. And he doesn't leave it on. He doesn't leave the camera on there. So I was like, why isn't he doing that? And then I did my own. And then I realized this is why. It looks kind of amateurish, I guess is the word, or rough, but because you are creating the experience in the light, that's how that happens, right? Yeah. So very, very awesome. So, but I did want to share with you, and then we'll actually, let's jump to the comments, and then we'll go to the next thing, because there's so many nice little comments. Theme park, yeah, we went live with a family Halloween family fun roundtable. Check this out. Great. And we still have Cherry Tuesday. Yeah, they have a great site, guys. And I'm not just saying it. They're a couple of lovely gals, and they're just Disney happy. So if you're looking for Disney happy, there you go, right? Disney Kitchen, here I come. Yeah. Yo, let's see. God bless you. I would also choose staring at the ocean for R&R. It's just me, you know. I'm going to show you some desert shots in a minute that are just beautiful, but it's not where I would be living. Yes, Deanna says I have 2 pumpkins, might just clean them out for the seeds, which is fine. Totally fine. I'm going to show you some of my students' work and you might change your mind, but it's totally fine. What happened is I had 2 classes. They were absolutely awesome. And I'm going to show you their work now. So here's the first one. There we go. So here's the first one. And I have Deanna's comment underneath, but here, Deanna, you can see, and you probably saw these because I showed them also on my Patreon page. These are students' work. So you've got someone who decided to simply leave most of the skin on and carve around the outside, which when lit, and unfortunately I don't have this one lit, I'm going to write to them and ask them to send them, because this creates a different effect than just cutting holes. So that was hers. That's my friend Janice. And then this is Diane. She did this amazing cat face based on what we did. And again, I'd love to see it lit. I don't have that yet, so I'll be on them. This is Matt. He did the first Frankenstein. Now, I'm going to tell you about Matt. Matt was in New York, and his wife said, you're not carving this in the house. So he went outside in the freezing cold weather and attempted to carve a frozen pumpkin. So he did real good because the pumpkin was frozen. I said, imagine what you can do once you have a pumpkin that's not frozen. So hopefully he will take his techniques that he learned and try again so that he doesn't have to fight the ice in a frozen pumpkin. He was freezing. What a trooper Matt was. He just kept going. He just really had a good time. And that's the sign of someone that just makes you feel like, like you're doing a good thing. And then this is Michael Roman. Michael Roman, remember I told you that you could come and watch and not do anything, but be careful because your hands might start to tingle. That happened with Michael. He had a squash laying around probably for dinner and he carved it. And there it is. It's so cute. It's so super sweet. He was real excited. Here is a screaming pumpkin. So you remember my screamer with the hand going like this. This was to demonstrate to a little girl. Her name is Blythe. And Blythe did a drawing of her screaming pumpkin, and it was amazing. So looking at this light, you're going to see it lit. So I'm going to share that with you in a minute. Her mom, Holly, did Jack Skellington, and that's how my Jack Skellington came to be. I sculpted one. Holly watched. She sculpted one. Simple as that. And hers is all lit up. Really great, huh? Look, really well done. Now here you have the roses, you have the fiery yellows, and you have white. So she did a great job with the accents and stuff for her first. And here's one that's a Jack Skellington. Now the interesting thing about this is Deborah, who was with my friend Paul when she was carving, she didn't have the right tools. So she was using fork tine, she was using knife, she was doing whatever she could to get what she could. And then I talked to her about doing tikis because she loves tikis. And I have a student who does beautiful tiki pumpkins. And so I think that's what she's going to do. If you're someone who wants to do this still and you're not Deanna who has them laying around, you can go to a market. I wouldn't wait any later than today because a lot of times grocery stores, pumpkin farms will either get rid of their pumpkins, but you can get them for free. A lot of times they'll give them to you free or low cost. Farmers will put them in a big bin and feed them to pigs and cows and things like that because you saw the animals that love them. So you go there first. They'll ask you a couple of bucks to have them, or they'll give them to you. And then the remainder of the pumpkins that aren't used go out to the farm animals. It's all a win-win, right? So that's what's so cool about that. And here is Paul's Frankenstein. So first attempt at the Frankenstein, but you see him in there, don't you? And again, eyes, lips, he gets a chance to really jump into it, but it's amazing. Isn't it amazing? Super amazing. So here I am next with delivering my Groot. I built I went to a class with a wonderful man named Ivano Organo, and Ivano teaches feral cement in Canada. This was last year, and he asked me to build a Groot, and I built this. He helped me to build this Groot planter, and my friend Daniel just fell in love with it. So he made me an offer I couldn't refuse, and he bought my only Groot planter, and this is out in the middle of nowhere. And this is where Groot now lives. Look at that pond, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at that sky. If you are a desert dweller, this is stunning what you can do out there. Look at that shot. Man, you know, if I'm an ocean girl, but wow, look at the environment that he has created for himself and baby Groot. So I was going to zoom in so that you can see Groot chilling. There he is chilling right there. So that's what I did. So October 31st comes and November 1st, I would have just liked to lay, you know, and recuperate. But that's just not me. And Daniel had purchased this little guy. So I buckled him in the back seat and he became my passenger and off we went on a road trip. And it was the middle of nowhere. I remember, Deanna, you asked if it was Palm Springs. Yeah, and then another 2 hours. So middle of nowhere. Dark side of the moon, except for it's a very pretty side of the earth. So just amazing to me. Just amazing to me. So let's see. Here we go. We saw that. We saw that. And the 2 pumpkins. And thank you, Michael. They were just going to watch, but he was motivated. And he was. His mother said, Michael Roman's mother said, he's not here, but he's carving. And I was like, what? You know, and he didn't have the tools either. So you take a fork, I said, guys, get what you can. And then if you really, really like this, you can go to my store and buy the tools, or you can just go to an art store and take a look at the various shapes and different sizes and types that they have of the ceramic sculpting tools. Or if you know somebody who does ceramics or sculpts, they might have a few extra that you can talk them out of. And then you don't have to worry about it. I think my friend Ron Kubala said he met someone who had retired from sculpting and they just gave them to him. So he was like, oh my gosh, I got to try this, you know. Thank you, theme park gals. So next time you guys are going to have a class. Deanna, that really is true, isn't it? Tim Gillette, how long after Halloween do you leave your pumpkins up? Great to see you, Tim Gillette. Thank you very much. Mine are going to be out. Mine are now in, let me see if I can show you. I don't know if I grabbed a picture of mine that happily, I don't think I did. They have ran to, yeah, I didn't grab that one. Let me see if I actually have it in my other thing as I look. Forgive me for looking, but yes. Okay, I did. I just didn't carry it over. So I will show you this. My pumpkins ran to the ivy. So here they are hiding in the ivy of my home as they each do their haunting thing. And then I'm trying to pull back because I'm thinking this might be a good thing for Instagram or TikTok. And there's just no way I can get back far enough with it vertical. Bah! But there they are in my ivy patch, and that's where they'll remain until they go to juice. And what I'll do for you is I'll do little quick videos so you can see what they or shots of them, Tim, because the answer is, as long as they're in a place like ivy or a garden, you're going to love watching them go back to the earth, actually start to rot. They'll start to cave in weird spots, and they'll start to get this black fungus that looks like growth. So in a perfect world, my Skellington will get a beard, and my monster will get a beard, and then the other guy, I don't know what will happen to Screamer, but it's going to be very interesting to see. I don't know if the arm will start to, like curl, so it goes like this. But we'll see, and I'll take some shots, some progressive shots. I won't do it like when the butt opens. I won't do that stuff. But I will let you see the various ones. But again, I don't know if that'll be this week simply because I'm going to disappear. I'm going to be poof, and disappear. So that's going to be super, super fun and cool. But yes, thank you, Peggy. Thank you. And it was really cute with Dan because Dan saw him and he thought he was my little one. I did sculpt a little Impressions Groot. Many of you have him. And that Groot sold out so quickly it wasn't funny, but he thought it was that Groot. And then I walked over and put my arm around my giant planter Groot, one of a kind. And he started to get emotional. And I was like, in Kung Fu Panda, Sifu saying, don't cry. Okay. But he was really happy to get him. And he took tons of pictures. He was so, so happy to have him. And that's the thing that makes you happy when you get your pieces to go. I could have kept him. I really, really loved him. But I was afraid my gardeners might ding him. He could disappear. He's such a popular character that all of a sudden he might just go bye-bye. And I didn't want him to actually go bye-bye. So they do start to curl. Yeah. So we're going to see what happens. And then I'm also keeping the ones where I've etched because I want to see how long they last. The nice thing about them is I think you could carve those early and they would still light well. They might curl around the edges that you carved and stuff, but they should light fine. So I am doing an experiment with that as well. So there you have it. There's what I did, my wild and crazy time. And now I'm getting ready to go into another wild and crazy time. And you did see that Tim Gillette made a comment. This weekend, we are doing a amazing blog and video con, virtual blog and video con. Those of you who have thought you might want to do a live video, or maybe you want to post some videos, or maybe you want to blog, or maybe you want to start a podcast, this is the place for you. And if Tim is still listening, he'll post it in my comments. Otherwise, I will do it as soon as I get off here. I should have had a strip for it. I didn't quite think if I was going to say that or not. So I apologize. But I'm speaking on Saturday sometime. I haven't got a chance to look. It's been that kind of a day, kind of a week, right? Just, And what's so funny is I turned the news on today, and apparently the weekend was craziness for the campaign, for other things. My friend Liz Reed told me that England is locking down again because COVID numbers are on the rise. So life went crazy, but I turned things off. It was all about Halloween, and this podcast, this vlog, if you will, is all about the cool and crazy stuff that I did Halloween, and that the fun stuff with the students and Groot. Okay. And weird stuff in the news, because there was weird stuff in the news. Okay. So the first thing that I saw was that a man wakes up and his car won't start. And when he opens the hood, there's a 7-foot python, as in snake, under the hood. So obviously the snake was very cold and wanted to get warm and chose this guy's car engine to do so. Yeah, 7-foot python. How's that for a Good Morning Monday? I don't remember exactly where it was, but wow. I love snakes, so I wouldn't have been afraid. A python, I know what a python looks like. But 7 feet is 7 feet. I mean, personally, how would you untangle him? He was probably all wrapped around the warm parts of your car engine. And thank goodness he wasn't anywhere near the fan, or that could have been awful, right? Oh dear, poor little guy. Anyway, so that was weird. And then I heard about that today or tomorrow we're going to have an asteroid fly by us, like a big one. And apparently it's far enough away it's not going to affect the Earth at all. But they wanted us to know that there's actually an asteroid that's going to fly past the Earth. Like now we're thinking, if you will like science fiction, 50s movies, when worlds collide, you all of a sudden go, whoops, wow, right? Or you think of the Christopher Reeves Superman, where their planet was going to have some trouble also. And I don't think it was an asteroid, but all of a sudden you just go into that sci-fi mode, don't you? And go, whoa, okay, now this is like for real. But the news assures us that it's not going to, it's not going to devastate anything. It's just your heads up, and if you live in the desert, like Daniel, you might even see it go by. I mean, it might be a little dot, but whoa, You know, when you have a clear sky like that, you can see everything. It's amazing. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And then there was a guy, I guess, who decided that early in the morning he was gonna do something different, or they're not sure what was going on with him, but he went into a mall, Walmart, stood up between aisle 6 and 7, only in his boxer shorts, nothing else, smoking a cigarette and dancing. So I guess he was on top of the shelves doing a dance, you know, in between, and they had to call police because he did have a firearm on him. So they don't know if he was going to do anything with the firearm. At the time, he was just sort of smoking, talking, and dancing, kind of announcing. At the time, it was just employees. It was very early in the morning or late at night. I didn't get the whole story. But the idea of weirdness in the news again, you know, and give people a small break. Just grain of salt. This is not normal for people. So they tend to get a little mad, and it happens, right? And here was this guy just doing his dancing with the stars bit right there. So there you go. On the other hand, if you love the future and you love the way the 21st century has been showing us 21st century awesomeness, like, for example, the Dragon, which is my favorite thing, the first NASA and private spaceship. If you like stuff like that, then you will love this other story that I heard about this wonderful man, and he's in Barcelona, and his name is Carlos Martin. You may have seen this story. I've been dying to tell you the story, and then it keeps getting pushed out by something else in my head, maybe classes. Hitchhiking Ghosts too, probably. But Carlos Martin, for years, I think they said 60 years, he was a pianist, a concert pianist, and he could not play the piano after his hands were damaged. Well, they have created a new mechanical, what is it? I'm going to look here because I wrote it down because I wanted to get this. Techno hands, okay, that he has on his hands that enable his hands to allow him for the first time in 60 years to play the piano. And he plays beautifully. And next year, 2021, he's going to demonstrate his concert ability at Carnegie Hall. Carnegie Hall. Yeah. That's the future, guys. That is just so cool. So, so cool. So despite all of the negative stuff we've seen in 2020, there's been a lot of shining moments in 2020. We just have to dig a little harder to find them, but they are there. Creativity from people from doing virtual classes or teaching virtually to a new skill, a new technique, a new business, new. Because if you're creative, you just start thinking out of the box, don't you? And how exciting to see some of the things that crop up, even if they're weird, like Dancing Man, you know, or a python in your hood. I remember my friend Alex Mayer, who lives in Florida, said that during the lockdown, a team of possums slept next to his engine in his car. And he said, I wasn't going to drive anywhere anyway, so I just let her nurse her baby. She had baby possums under the hood of his car. He said they didn't chew anything. They just stayed nice and warm and cozy. And when the little baby possums grew up, Mama Possum took them away and he cleaned up that area and it was done. So kind of a live and let live moment, right? You know, we've got a few raccoons here, and I'm not quite sure how big they are, but they're big enough to make a very thunderous noise on my roof. So I know they're out there, and I don't go out there because I can't tell exactly how many are out there. But, and I never see them because, of course, they wait. They're being nocturnal. So I never see them. They don't really come up to my windows. I remember someone posted on Facebook that they saw one come up to their, like, sliding glass door, and they said, not the guest I wanted. But, you know, you just want to let nature do naturey stuff. But nature is, if you've watched the news, these are kind of the more interesting things that are happening. A bear jumping in your swimming pool, or all of a sudden is at your back door and you're like, excuse me, brown bear alert, uh, stuff like that, that you're just not used to if you live in certain areas where this can occur. I think of Greta because she has a cabin in the woods. It's not inconceivable that a bear might not meander by her cabin and give her a painting opportunity. Just because he's seen her work and he loves it, he'll swing by and say, hey, how about it, Greta? So you just don't know. You just got to be a little more cautious when it comes to nature. If you're going to be hiking, you've seen the guy who got chased by the mountain lion. He did very well. He stood his ground. But you can't go kind of la-di-da when you're walking around because coyotes will be out there. There's a lot more nature flourishing because we've been isolated at home, and nature has just taken it. My lizard population outside used to see 3 or 4 lizards. Now I've got about 30 or 40 lizards. Great for the ground, great for the environment, and awful cute to watch. But the point is that there's tons. We also have a murder of crows, meaning so many crows that fly around and sort of do weird stuff. Like one time they just got fascinated with my neighbor's car alarm. So they kept dive bombing the car and making the alarm go off. And my neighbor would have to get up and turn the alarm off. And then they would dive again. So it's very interesting to just see, what is happening in the world. But look for the happy, good stuff, We get enough of the yucky bad stuff. And with the election coming, everyone is kind of battling, buckling down because they're concerned there might be scary protests. And that's a shame. And of the little bit that I heard, negative. So here today, we wanted to give you some opportunities to see some of the things that are interesting, strange, unusual, crazy, weird, wild, etc. Just thought I'd talk about that and my classes and how fun pumpkin stuff was to do. So there you go. Let's look a little bit more at your comments and see what's going down, man. And then again, please remember that I'm not going to be here Friday. I'm going to take full advantage of my vacation, but I will be back a week from today. So what am I going to talk about? I really don't know. Maybe I'll talk about my holiday. I'm thinking of taking, you remember those of you who do you remember I got Lego for my birthday? I still haven't got to put it together, so I'm taking it with me. And I'm going to sit out in the ocean, glass of wine, and build Lego. My friend Joshua Schaefer told me about Lego Stitch. So I've got this cute little Lego Stitch. He built his. And I actually got mine before him, but he took time to build his and I didn't. So his is really cute and I got real excited about it. So I'm going to take my Stitch and I'm also going to take Totoro because I got a Totoro as well in case my husband might want to build one too. And together we can just, regress into our 5-year-olds, and build these Lego characters, which could be lots of fun and then kick back and relax and, just have a really good time by the ocean. It's going to be super cool. I'm so excited about it. And I urge you to do the same, not necessarily go to the ocean if you don't want, but go somewhere where you can just sort of just let the weight of the world fall from your shoulders because you deserve it. You deserve to have a break. And it's a challenge. I think one of the challenges of being at home is that I know for me, I can't take that break. I feel too guilty. Like, one of the things that I want to do when I get back is I have a home office where I have a TV about this big where I take my classes, I take courses, and I just got this great class in watercolor. So I want to take a watercolor class, but I do it on a big TV. So that way I can sit back and work. And then if I have an iPad or a computer, I take those classes on there. It's a big TV. It's surrounded by books. I'm surrounded by my books. And then also I have the opportunity to have a printer in there. I type in there. I write in there. It's more office-y. It's more for creating my books, creating courses, things like that. And then the studios you see around me is my sculpture studio. And I'm about to start my own piece, which is really very, very exciting. My heart's beating like a rabbit. I haven't done a sculpture from my head in a long time. And I really honestly can't wait. So there's a lot in store for this November, but that's one of the reasons that this is a little nutsy for me, because I don't know how much November I'm going to get to spend with you. Not because of the sculpture, but just because November is turning out to be a month of taking me away from broadcasting, and it's nothing I can really do about it. But stay tuned. I'll have updates on Monday, but I won't be able to do Ask Me Anything, and I won't be able to do some of the other things that I do on Friday. But please keep your questions at Leo Holzer on Facebook. Get them up to him, or post them in my messenger and I'll post them up to him. We may have, a toilet paper list of questions, but okay. We may have a few things we want to comment on, because in December, how are we looking? How has the world changed? And you know what I mean. So it could be anything, but let's see what everybody is chatting about here. As Deanna said, the fingers do start to curl, so I'll be looking forward to that. I can see him from my bedroom. He's so awesome. See, Daniel just went crazy for this little guy. And one of the things about sculpting is when you can create someone that makes people happy just like that. And it was such a blessing to go out and see him, see what he was creating. And Deanna says, you picked the perfect. I hope you saw that, Daniel. I mean, it's just great. So full moon madness. Exactly, Holly. It was. And the weather was beautiful. So we were sitting out with one of our friends, social distancing, of course. We had pumpkin pie while we were throwing popcorn down the chute, meaning the packets, down the chute to little kids. And like I said, I had 12 people show up, and that was 12 more than I expected. But I couldn't get over how revved up and excited I was just preparing for the whole event. And then we had the movie in the background. And our friend that came over is a visual effects artist. And he said, what I really am impressed with is your overall composition with things that are so simple. We did a simple thing, and it was just lovely. So yes, Holly, full moon madness. Deanna says no street lights. She lives surrounded by mountains. Indeed. So you can take advantage if you have a telescope, because you have a sea of stars above. Sometimes I get lost when I'm looking up into the sky in a place like you guys live. Oh my. So Deanna says a man laid naked. Now, over a week ago, now in one of your intersections, he just laid out, Deanna? Was the moon full then? Almost, right? So maybe he just needed that those rays. He was just catching rays. He's just catching a few rays. I don't know if the intersection is the best idea for catching rays, but especially when there's no street lights. Yes, so Greta says, yep, we have had more wildlife now that much of the forest is burned too. So this is one of those things. You just have to be prepared, depending on where you live, that nature is doing really well. I think one of the things that really interested me and intrigued me was how quickly it was healing itself, how oceans all of a sudden had thousands of sea turtles we hadn't seen in a while. In Italy, all of a sudden, the canals had beautiful octopi and fish life because the people were not, polluting. This is a real wake-up call, because you have to say, when we finally get back into our normal routine, do we still behave the way we did, or do we take this into account and let everything live and let live? Now, with me being a carnivore, that's a little weird, right? But I am happy catching what I eat. And I think if I'm willing to do that, I can be a carnivore. But that's me. Again, let the carnivores be carnivores, vegans be vegans, vegetarians be vegetarians, and animals live on the earth, right? So I'm not a big red meat eater. So I love fish, and I'm really not a great fisher person, but I would learn. So, that's kind of the deal. Yeah. But it's just something to think about. It is making me think about it. So, you may turn to me and say, when are you becoming vegan? And I don't think that's going to happen, because I love fish too much. I really do. I know, Deanna. I love the ocean so much. It is my jam. Rocket is going. That's a very good question, Deanna. Rocket, my little dog Rocket, gets to visit her trainer. She is going to go visit her trainer. She has not seen her trainer, who she loves, since January. So I think Rocket's going to be nuts. And I think my trainer's going to tease me because Rocket's put on a couple of pounds. But I just think Rocket looks cute, bigger. She's not fat. My vets think she's a little overweight. But she's 10 pounds. She's cute. She's so cute and cuddly and sweet. I'm not going to get her 12, 13-pound dog. She's a 8 to 10 pounder. But she really does look cute, and she seems so happy. I got to watch out for her, though, because she has a terrible sweet tooth. I don't know if you have, because I wanted a Yorkshire Terrier, and she's part Yorkshire Terrier. The other is Schnauzer. And finding out that I guess Yorkshire Terriers have a sweet tooth. I've never had a dog that had such a sweet tooth. In my life, this dog has a sweet tooth. She would rather eat pumpkin pie and whipped cream and baked stuff, not chocolate, because you can't give a dog chocolate, but she just loves anything bread and sweet. Don't we all? But my other dogs weren't really into it. Tilly was like, no, thank you. It was all about French fries for my dog, Tilly, my little bulldog. She was like, we would come back from In-N-Out Burger, and that dog, French fry dar. I mean, we were down the block. And by the time we came home, she was right at the door going, got something for me? I know you do. I know you got those fries. And you would just laugh. And then all my dogs love chicken and Foster Farms turkey dogs. So, but those aren't necessarily a sweet tooth. I was just surprised at how my dog Rocket goes. She loves chicken, and she loves fish, and she loves eating her dog food, but she really likes sweets. So that was a long version of, yes, Rocket is going with me. She's not going. She's going to go see my trainer. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Peggy. I'm going to come on as much as I can, and I will be back before Thanksgiving. I'm going to pop on after, it's probably going to be touch and go till about the 21st or 22nd, but Thanksgiving is the 26th, I think. So I'll pop on for a couple of days to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and then we'll get right back into it. So I'm not gone. I just, with the way things are in life, this cannot be helped. So I thought I could maybe try and do something in between, try and make it happen. But my husband said he felt, and my doctor felt, like I was going to just go right back to my crazy. I've not been sleeping but 3 or 4 hours a night. And so they're all like, it's time for you to just take 5, please. Please. I'm going to take 5, please. Conan the Barbarian said, plenty enough time for sleep in the grave. But I guess everyone is like, let's not make that grave early, dummy. And it's not that serious, guys. It's just everybody is saying they'd like me to take a rest, so I will. How many grim grinning ghosts do I have left? Okay, that is a great question also. So we're kind of doing a little bit of AMA right now, and that's fine with me. I'm happy to do it. I have sold about half of them, and it's been a real interesting experience. Some people have said, not in the budget. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say goodbye to the ghosts. And others have just, that I don't even know, have gone to the store and bought them. They are spectacular. They are beautiful. They are amazing. And if you want them, please go get them by the set. I've created several ways for them to be owned, but here they are glowing. There they are. And you can get them by going to my Square store. So you just pop over to my Square store, and I'll go get a banner. Grabbing my banner. There it is. You go here, and they're right on the front page, and you can buy them. And I have 3. Well, you can see them here on the shelf. They actually illuminate. So this is the thing that's really nice. You can kind of see my collection behind them. Now I have the light on here, as opposed to here where they are glowing on their own and you can see that they're sort of floating. So that's what's kind of cool about them now, is that. And then just so you know, this is the way that you can pay for them. So you've got the paid in full. You can go directly to the store and pay in full. That's your best deal. But if you want them, you just can't live without them. I have a 3-month plan and a 6-month plan for the first time. And if you want that, you need to reach out to me and then I'll send you an invoice. Okay. So that's how it works. And we have some left. Absolutely. And you can reach out to me and say if there's certain numbers. Everyone that had a significant number like 33 or that's kind of long for you guys to see that. 33 or 13 or 69, I think was the number. In any case, all those are gone. They paid for them so fast. But everybody else was, kind of thinking about it, I have 2 people that want to buy a home. So they decided to opt out of the ghosts. It makes sense. So I'm not going to sit there and, if you promised to pick them up, it doesn't mean I told you. As soon as I told you the price, you decide yes or no, or if one of these plans is going to work for you. So thank you, ladies, for doing me the favor of asking that question, because I really, really wanted to talk about that. And you were so sweet to lead in like that. Very kind. So I'm just going to go through the comments again. And get to, there we go. So we're back to the naked guy in the intersection, laying with his head on a backpack for lane stoplights. Really strange, right? I mean, hopefully you're not speeding through there, because a lot of people have been speeding. That's the crazy thing about it. Theme park gals say their dog eats everything. Bags of chocolate, chicken bones. She's super dog. Yeah, because a lot of dogs can get very sick from chocolate. Chocolate is not good for dogs, and neither is chicken bones. So your dog is a superhero, ladies, because that is chilling to me. Yes, I'm going to miss you too. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was thinking of the guy laying in the street, and then I was going to tell you something else that I thought really bizarre and weird that was happening, but it went just like everything else. Something, it will pop into my head. Oh, I know. It was not weird. It was cool, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Keyword Hummer. Michael says, I've been doing so much. You've been doing so much for helping others during the pandemic. Now it's time to take care of yourself. Have a great vacation. And Michael, I love you. And I know your mom feels the same way. And I love her too. And I love all of you guys for just giving me this great support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please do. Because the ghosts we're still working on them. While I'm on vacation, then I come back and I dive into working on the ghosts, getting them ready for a December release. That is a major portion of why I won't be doing a lot of that. And you there it is. Here we go. Tim Gillette. And here is the shout out. So I'm going to be speaking on Saturday because, of course, Friday I'm busy. But Saturday I'm going to go and speak, and I'm going to be talking about doing your broadcasting, vlogging, or podcasting starting out. So you guys all remember that I started out with my phone. This is how I started out, was my phone on a thing. I still do that occasionally, but I will show you that plus a little microphone, a Shure microphone that I use. That's where I started. It became a little challenging for me. And then COVID hit and we were cleaning and we found these cameras. A lot of these cameras were found when you went on vacation and you got a video camera and it had the little tapes that go inside. Well, many of these cameras have fantastic lenses, and even if they won't play the videos anymore, they will be a good way, as long as it's got a cable, a good way for you to start out, and you can have a multi-camera setup. So I'm going to talk about that too at Tim's event. But it's not going to be just me. Tim Gillette and the Blog and Video Con, he has a lot of people that talk about how to blog and how to do these vlogs and how to do a podcast. And the key part of this, guys, is how to do it efficiently so it doesn't gobble up your life. So Tim has this great secret he's going to share with you to optimize all of them. Let me say that again, to optimize all of them. So you want to go. I think it's like $20 to be a part of it, Tim. Am I right? But go there, and it's going to be Saturday. It's going to be great. Now, I do have to tell you, it is Texas time because Tim is from Texas. So if you live in California, you're going to be getting up early if you want to see the whole thing. Okay. But then you get to end early too, because he's doing is kind of like, I think Tim said it's like from 9 to 5. So for us, it would be 7 to 3, I think. Right? Yeah. So, but also if you sign up and you miss any part of it, you get to watch the recording because he records it. So you don't miss anything, but it's great for $20, just like my class was great for $20. His class is great for $20. And I think you'll really, really enjoy it. And if you're someone who needs your hand to be held, he has a mastermind. I'm in it. It's amazing. And he walks you through everything. He gives you his undivided time, as does everybody else. A lot like my Zoom calls on Wednesdays, except for that this is much more, it's like Zoomzilla, right? Zoomzilla. You get people who are doing all kinds of things and they need specific help. So when I first went to Tim, and many of you remember that very first video, I couldn't figure out how to turn my phone from this vertical to this horizontal. And Tim taught me how to do that. And the rest is history. Now I'm here with several camera setups. And this is because he gave me the confidence to do what I needed to do and to get things done. Yes, it doesn't hurt that I have a husband who is an award-winning filmmaker, but you can still do it. You can still do it simple. And I'm going to show you how to, and then stay for all the other people who can show you how to do that too. Okay. So again, here it is, Blog and Video Con. It's this Saturday. Well, actually, it's this Friday and Saturday. It's 2 days. So for the $20, and I think it's $20, Tim's going to be like, if it's not, but he'll fix it here. I know he will. But in any case, it's the 6th and the 7th. I'm not available the 6th. So he's giving me the 7th, bless his heart. But I get to see the 6th on recording. So it's all good. But you get to see the 6th and the 7th, and you can watch it live if you want. But you can definitely catch it. And I'm on Saturday. I don't know what time because Halloween has been on the brain, but I'm going to look it up this today. And it's going to be great. So I just wanted to give him a shout out there because he really is good at what he does. I have been through a lot of mastermind coaches, and Tim is my good fit. Okay. Tim Gillette just turns out to be my good fit. Okay. So if you're someone who likes someone to work with you on a more intimate level, this mastermind is for you. Okay. It's great. And everybody participates and celebrates each other's wins and their victories and helps you to kind of go through it, and myself included. Many of the, Tim is saying in the future, I should talk about Patreon page because we're beginning to get people who are very curious about Patreon and their art/podcast/membership site. It's really for anybody. It's just a little bit challenging to navigate, but I've done it. And if you need help with it, we do this here also in Tim's mastermind and also on Blog and Video Con. But this time, it's just going to get you started, okay? Just like me, it's going to help you get started. Okay, who's next? Miss Deanna. Hello. Oh, the guy got arrested. Not Tim. Okay, so 10:35 a.m. Central Time, I'm speaking. Okay, so if it's 10:35 Central Time, it's 8:35 for us. 8:35, 9:35, 10:30, 8:35. I'm writing it down, Tim. 8:35 Central, which 8:35 Pacific means 10:35 Central. So 8:35 a.m. There I am speaking on Blog and Video Con. So get your bunny slippers on, your cup of tea, your nice little pastry, and Watch me show you how you can put this on there on Blog and VideoCon. I hope you join us. Yes, indeed. So exciting. Yeah, it's, you know what, Deanna, it's just so needed, right? It's so needed. And I started to say that when you're home and you're trying to rest, things yell at you. So dinner yells at you, your dog needs to get up, your husband, if he's working at home, needs to be taken care of in one way or another. You got to make sure lunch is at a certain time because it's weird hours. So our main meal is at lunchtime because he works nights. So he can't eat a meal at dinner because he's working. So I've made our main meal in the afternoon, but I'm broadcasting, for example. So if today it was going to work, I would have to, as soon as I got off the broadcast, go fix him food, because he's prepping for work. Now he could fix something for himself, but he would fix something most likely without protein. And you know that protein is the fiery log that the kindling, better known as carbs, helps to burn. So you need to make sure you have some protein there to help you maintain the entire day. So a lot of times my husband will have like a bowl of cereal. The biggest protein is the milk, not cutting it. Okay. I love him because he's like, I just need something fast. So I'm the one cooking the chicken, making the turkey, doing the warm, cuddly, cozy food so that he has something he can just simply put in a container or eat it right at noon or at 1 just before he goes to work. And then the idea is to not get too close to work because then it makes him sleepy. My point is, there might be laundry to get done. There might be, oh my gosh, why does this room look like it does? Like a cyclone hit it. Or I've got pumpkin class. Or I've got ghosts. Or I've got drawings to do. Or. And it all just is this cacophony of shh. And so I said to him, I need a place where I can be completely shh and not feel guilty about it. And what the greatest thing is that my doctor said, go, get out. Just stay away from stupid people. And I was like, yay, we get to go. So it's exciting because I'll be in a hotel room. There won't be piles of things that I should be doing, looking at me going, and I think y'all know what I'm talking about. And this is why we get a little, right? Because it's all of this quiet noise, my husband walks around and says, I need to vacuum. I need to mop. And I walk around going, I need to make sure we have groceries. I need to make sure we're fed. I need to make sure we're up at time. I want to make sure we get good, decent sleep. Oh, by the way, I got to get my taxes to my bookkeeper. I got to blah, 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 blah. And I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. You guys are going through this too. And then if you make the mistake of turning on the news, listen to the radio or reading Reddit, you're like, you can just, it just does what it does, right? So that's why. So before I go, I've got to, have you seen the Hummer, the electric Hummer? So when I'm driving, I say I need a tank. I think people need a tank to drive now because people are driving like they're just crazy drivers. And I said, if I had a tank, I would feel safer because people are, nobody uses a blinker. Some people do things like back up on the freeway to get off an off ramp. And you're like, what? 4 lanes, no blinker, no nothing. We went out to see Daniel and there was a guy who thought we must have been, I don't know, Domino's or something. He was going, nowhere to go, just darting in between. And you know how you have the yellow lines of a diamond lane? That just made no difference to him at all whatsoever. In the diamond lane, out of the diamond lane, all over. And not a cop to be seen. No highway patrol to be seen. Point is, you think, I need a tank. Enter the Hummer. Now, the Hummer being about the size of a tank, and if you guys own the gas guzzler, I used to make a joke saying it's 6 gallons to the mile with these things. Absolutely huge vehicle. Barely could park anywhere. It was that big. And I was doing a television show with a band named Screaming Savage. And he did the Animaniacs. He was a director on Animaniacs, and he was a director also on our dinosaur show. The show Dinosaurs. Not the Mama, not the Mama, not the Mama. Okay, that show. And he took us in his Hummer to In-N-Out Burger. We could barely turn the corner of the driveway. That thing was so massive. It is a tank, and it is pretty cool. Well, no matter how efficient it became in gas, it still was a hog. It's a monster vehicle. Very cool monster vehicle, but a monster vehicle. So I'm sure many of the people at the Hummer creative team were saying, if we can do one that is electric, score. Well, so the news reported that it was out. It's not. It's the prototype. It is the prototype. It's not supposed to come out till 2022. Did you know that? It is cool, though. It is pricey. $125,000 to get it. But get this, guys. You can't get the first one off the showroom floor, because once they're all made and ready to go, they're already sold out. And just think about it. You're a Hummer dealer, and your Hummer guys are saying, well, you know, I'd love to have my Hummer because I love my tank. But the problem is I've got to sell my house in order to feed the thing. Enter electric. So you just get on the phone and you say, hello, guess what? Electric's out, you special customer of the Hummer group. And they all sold. They all just are gone. So everybody is waiting. I don't know how many are coming off the, once the prototype is perfected and they're built, how many are rolling out, but all of them are sold out. All of them. And if you get the chance to take a look, just Google electric Hummer and take a look of the inside. The inside is so awesome. It's like a spaceship. Yeah, spaceship. That's what it's like. Cool lights in the back. It actually, on a single charge, will go 300 miles. So, whoa, right? And then it has a super fast charge that will take you 100 miles. It charges in I think it's 7 minutes or 10 minutes or something, and you can go 100 miles. So they all came together and thought and said, hey, we're going to collaborate and we're going to make a supercalifragilistic tank. And I can't help but say, the way people are driving, I wouldn't mind having one. Unfortunately, it costs a pretty penny. And I would rather spend that $100,000 on a trip around the world than I would take. But I do love looking at it. I do honor their innovation, celebrate their innovation, and think it's pretty cool. Oh, he had a COVID test. Is he worried it's COVID, Deanna? It maybe he's just overworked, because your husband works for ADT. That is an essential business, and that is he could easily have the same thing. I hope it's nothing serious. I really do. I pray for negative test results. So there you have it, my friends. Upbeat, exciting, fun, because tomorrow is election day and it could go dark. It could get really scary. So I don't want you to worry about that. I want you to remain positive, find something fun to do, stay off the road if you're concerned it's going to get wild and wacky out there. Try not to watch too much news. And I will see you next Monday. What's that date? Is that the 9th? I think that's the 9th. So I will work hard to see you Monday. Okay. I think I can. This is a roller coaster of a month, and it's just starting. It's the 1st, and already I'm doing this. Hang on, keep your hands and arms in the vehicle and go for the ride, right? I love you all so much. Do take care. Be well. Do something nice for someone else. It'll always make the person feel better, especially if you're in Starbucks. If you buy a coffee for someone else, chances are that line is a mile long, and that girl or guy is going to be like, love you, love you, love you. Thank you. You just made my day, because I just sat in this line for an hour and I'm going to In-N-Out Burger after another hour. Such is life, right? Such is life. Take care, everyone. Have a good time. I will see you Monday. If I can't see you Monday, I'll pop on and let you know. But watch the things. I'll try and post a little bit here and there. But I am going to go dark for just a little bit. Just because family is saying, you know, you're pushing too hard. You're pushing too hard. You're pushing too hard on me. Wow. You're pushing too hard. You're pushing too hard. You're pushing too hard on me. Wow. Love you so much. Take care. Be safe. Rest. See you soon.